Did you know that over 1,700 Canadians died in road-related incidents last year? And that number is rising despite safer car technology. What's even more alarming is that many of these accidents could have been prevented with updated laws. That's exactly why Canada is making massive changes to its driving regulations starting this month, January 2026. And trust me, they're not what you think. From thousands of dollars in new fines to criminal charges for road rage, even legal use of autopilot features might land you in hot water. And it's not just about driving faster or slower anymore. These laws cover things like cannabis use, dashcam rules, insurance verification, and even how long your car can sit idling. If you're not up to date, you could lose your license without even realizing you broke the law. In this video, we're breaking down the 10 most important and shocking changes you need to know to stay safe, legal, and stress-free on Canadian roads. Some of these new rules are already catching drivers off guard, and you don't want to be one of them. Number 1. Mandatory dash cams for commercial drivers. Starting January 2026, the Canadian government is officially requiring all commercial drivers, that includes truckers, delivery vans, rideshare vehicles, and even school buses, to have certified dash cams installed in their vehicles. This isn't just a suggestion, it's now the law. So why the sudden push for dash cams? The answer is simple: safety and accountability. A 2024 study by Transport Canada revealed that commercial vehicles equipped with dash cams saw a 35% decrease in accident-related claims and a 22% reduction in traffic violations. That's huge. The footage helps improving fault, discourages reckless driving, and even protects drivers from false accusations. But here's where it gets interesting. Even if you're not a commercial driver, this new rule might still impact you. Insurance companies are already starting to offer discounts to regular drivers who install dash cams voluntarily. In fact, some provinces are considering incentive programs that reward personal drivers for having a dash cam installed. Imagine this: you're involved in a minor fender bender. You say the other driver ran a red light. They say you did. With no camera footage, it's your word against theirs. But with a dash cam, you have proof. Clear, time-stamped visual evidence that could save you from skyrocketing insurance premiums, legal headaches, or worse. Because in 2026, if something happens and there's no footage to prove your side, it might just cost you more than you think. Number 2. Zero tolerance for distracted driving, even at red lights. Here's a change that's already catching drivers off guard in 2026. Using your phone at a red light is now officially illegal across most Canadian provinces. That's right, even if your car is completely stopped, glancing down to check a message or skip a song can now cost you up to $1,200 in fines, plus distracted driving demerit points that could skyrocket your insurance. Many drivers assume that using their phone while stationary was a legal gray area, but not anymore. The law has been clarified and tightened, and it comes with a clear message. If you're behind the wheel, your hands and your focus should be on the road. There's science behind this too. According to a cognitive study by the University of Toronto, even a 2-second distraction while driving can triple your risk of a collision. And those quick phone checks at red lights, they delay your reaction time when the light turns green, creating ripple effects that can lead to rear-end collisions, traffic jams, and even road rage. But here's the scary part. Many drivers are being ticketed without even realizing they did something wrong. Police officers are now monitoring intersections in unmarked vehicles and using dashcam footage to issue tickets after the fact. So what can you do? Activate the Do Not Disturb While Driving feature on your phone, or use voice-activated commands if absolutely necessary. Better yet, keep your phone out of reach completely, out of sight, out of ticket range. Because in 2026, a simple glance at your phone, even at a red light, could cost you more than just a text reply. Number 3. Speed limits reduced in urban areas. If you think you already know your local speed limits, think again. As of January 2026, many urban areas across Canada are seeing reduced speed limits, especially in residential zones, school areas, and downtown cores. In some places, the speed limit has dropped by as much as 20 kilometers per hour, and failing to notice the change could mean expensive tickets and even license points. Why the change? It's not just about slowing people down, it's about saving lives. According to data from the Canadian Institute for Health Information, pedestrians struck by a car traveling at 50 kilometers per hour are 5 times more likely to be killed than at 30 kilometers per hour. These new limits are designed to reduce the severity of accidents, particularly in areas with high foot traffic and vulnerable road users like children and seniors. But here's the catch. The new speed limits aren't always clearly marked yet. Some cities are rolling them out gradually, and in others, signs are still being updated. That means you need to stay extra alert when driving through familiar neighborhoods because what was legal last year might now be dangerous and illegal. Think of it this way. Is reaching your destination 1 minute faster worth a $500 fine? Or worse, a serious accident? Slowing down just a little could save a life, including your own. So the next time you're driving through a quiet street or near a school zone, take a second to check your speedometer. In 2026, the safest drivers are the ones who are paying close attention to their surroundings, and not just to traffic lights. Number 4. Eco-driving rules. Say goodbye to long idling. In a move to fight climate change and improve air quality, Canada has now introduced strict idling limits for all vehicles, especially in colder provinces where idling is a daily habit. As of January 2026, it is now illegal to idle your engine for more than 60 seconds in most urban areas. And yes, that includes while you're waiting to pick someone up or warming up your car in the winter. Why such a big push against something so common? Because the numbers are shocking. Just 10 minutes of idling per day adds up to over 25 liters of wasted fuel per month, not to mention the carbon emissions released into the air. According to Environment Canada, idling engines are responsible for millions of tons of CO2 released every year, directly contributing to climate change and respiratory issues in cities. Many drivers still believe that cars need to idle to warm up in cold weather. But here's the truth. Modern engines are designed to warm up faster while driving, not while sitting still. Idling not only wastes fuel, but also damages your engine over time, especially in colder temperatures. So what's the risk? New regulations allow municipalities to issue on-the-spot fines ranging from $150 to $500, and in some zones, repeat offenders could even face court summonses. The fix is simple. Start your engine, wait 30 to 60 seconds, then drive gently. You'll warm up your vehicle faster, reduce emissions, and save money on fuel. A win-win for your wallet and the planet. In 2026, eco-driving isn't just good practice, it's the law, and breaking it could leave your wallet and your lungs a lot lighter. Number 5. Tougher penalties for impaired driving, including cannabis. Think impaired driving only means drinking alcohol? Think again. As of January 2026, Canada has expanded its impaired driving laws to include stricter penalties for cannabis use, prescription drugs, and even some over-the-counter medications. If you're caught driving under the influence of any impairing substance, you could now face immediate license suspension, vehicle impoundment, and even criminal charges on your first offense. Here's what's changed. Police across Canada are now equipped with roadside saliva testing kits that can detect THC, the active ingredient in cannabis, within minutes. And unlike before, even trace levels of THC in your system could now be enough to get you charged. That means if you smoked or consumed cannabis hours ago, you could still test positive and be treated like a drunk driver. What makes it more serious is that cannabis affects drivers differently. You might feel alert, but studies from the Canadian Centre on Substance Use show that THC can slow reaction time, impair judgment, and reduce motor coordination for up to 6 hours after use. That's a long time to be legally impaired without realizing it. And yes, this also applies to edibles and CBD products with THC content, even if they're legal. Officers can now require you to take a saliva test on the spot, and refusal will result in automatic penalties, just like refusing a breathalyzer. So what can you do? Plan ahead. Don't drive if you've consumed anything that could impair you, even if it's legal. Use a rideshare, take transit, or just wait it out. In 2026, claiming you felt fine to drive won't hold up in court. The laws are clear. The consequences are serious. If you made it this far, you're the kind of viewer we create these videos for. So don't leave without telling us which rule shocked you the most in the comments below. We pour hours into every video to keep you informed. So go ahead, hit that subscribe button. It's just one click, but it means everything to us. Number 6. New graduated licensing conditions for young drivers. If you're under the age of 22 and thinking about getting your driver's license in 2026, you're in for a very different experience. Canada's graduated licensing system has just been updated, and these new conditions are stricter than ever. The goal? To reduce the number of accidents involving young and inexperienced drivers, which still account for over 20% of serious collisions in Canada every year. So, what's changed? For starters, zero-tolerance rules for alcohol and cannabis now apply to all drivers under 22, even if you're legally allowed to consume those substances. That means no trace of alcohol or THC is allowed in your system while driving, not even from a glass of wine or a legal edible. Violate this, you could face license suspension, heavy fines, and even be forced to restart your licensing process. There are also new probationary periods built into the GDL, Graduated Driver Licensing System. For example, new drivers may be required to complete a longer minimum driving period, complete mandatory road safety workshops, and avoid any traffic violations to move on to the next stage. And here's a big one. Any distracted driving offense, like texting or using GPS improperly, can now result in an automatic 30-day suspension for new drivers. Yes, even if it's your first mistake. These rules might sound tough, but they're based on years of research. Transport Canada reports that new drivers are 4 times more likely to be involved in a crash, especially in the first 6 months of driving. So, if you're just starting out, take it seriously. These new rules aren't here to make things harder. They're here to keep you alive. Number 7. Real-time digital insurance verification. Say goodbye to the days of fumbling through your glove box looking for your pink slip. Starting in 2026, Canadian law enforcement can now verify your auto insurance digitally and in real time. No paper required. That's right, officers won't need to see your printed insurance card anymore because they'll be able to pull up your coverage status instantly through a national verification system. Why is this a big deal? Because until now, many drivers have gotten away with driving without valid insurance, showing expired slips or even fake documents. But now, if you don't have active coverage, you'll be caught on the spot and face immediate fines, possible vehicle impoundment, and insurance fraud investigations. Even more shocking, a recent audit revealed that over 7% of drivers on Canadian roads were either uninsured or carrying expired policies. That's not just illegal, it's dangerous. If one of those drivers hits you, you could be left with thousands in damages and no way to recover them. So what should you do? First, make sure your insurance policy is up to date and that your provider participates in Canada's new digital registry. Second, consider downloading your insurer's app or storing your digital card on your phone. It's still a good idea to have quick access in case of a crash. And if you're someone who's always relied on paper proof, it's time to update your habits because in 2026, if your insurance doesn't show up in the system, it's treated as if you don't have insurance at all, and the penalties are harsh. Stay protected, stay verified. In a digital age, even your proof of insurance needs to keep up. Number 8. Hands-free tech now mandatory for rideshare and delivery drivers. If you drive for Uber, Lyft, DoorDash, Skip2Dishes, or any other rideshare or delivery service, listen up. 2026 brings a game-changing new law. All commercial and gig economy drivers are now legally required to use hands-free technology while on duty. That means no holding your phone, even to accept a ride or check delivery instructions. This isn't just about distraction, it's about liability and safety. With the rapid rise of gig driving in Canada, accidents involving rideshare vehicles have also gone up. Transport Canada reports that rideshare and delivery drivers are 40% more likely to be involved in collisions related to distraction or multitasking behind the wheel. The new regulation treats you as a commercial operator, which means you're now held to a higher safety standard. If you're caught manually handling your phone, GPS, or app while driving, you could face fines of up to $1,500, license demerits, and even temporary suspension from operating as a driver. So, what counts as hands-free? Your phone must be mounted securely, and all interactions should be done using voice commands, automated prompts, or pre-programmed navigation. Even tapping to accept a ride while moving can now get you ticketed. Not a gig driver? Don't tune out yet. These rules might not apply to you yet. Many provinces are already exploring expanding hands-free laws to all drivers, given how effective the changes have been in commercial fleets. Bottom line, whether you're delivering food or people, your phone needs to stay out of your hands and off your lap. In 2026, convenience is no longer an excuse. Professional driving requires professional habits. Number 9. Road rage is now a criminal offense. If you've ever yelled at another driver, tailgated someone out of frustration, or brake-checked the car behind you, you might be committing a criminal offense in 2026. That's because Canada has officially updated its criminal code to classify aggressive driving behaviors, also known as road rage, as dangerous driving under the law. What does this mean? It means that common road rage actions like swerving aggressively, honking excessively, verbal threats, or even intimidating gestures can now lead to criminal charges, not just a ticket. And the consequences are severe: license suspension, hefty fines, and even jail time, depending on the situation. This change didn't come out of nowhere. In the past 5 years, police across Canada have reported a dramatic increase in road rage incidents, many of which ended in collisions, injuries, or worse. A national survey in 2025 showed that 68% of drivers admitted to some form of aggressive driving in the past year. That's not just stress, that's a recipe for disaster. Here's the bottom line. Losing your temper on the road, even for a second, can now follow you for life as a criminal record. And in many cases, these actions are caught on dash cams, traffic cameras, or bystanders' phones, meaning you may not even realize you're being recorded until charges show up in the mail. The smart move? If you feel your frustration rising, breathe, back off, and de-escalate. Let the other driver go. Because in 2026, one angry moment could turn into a lifelong consequence, and no traffic delay is worth that. Number 10. Autonomous driving tech must be declared. Welcome to the future, where your car might be doing the driving, but you're still responsible. As of January 2026, any vehicle equipped with Level 2 or higher autonomous driving features, like Tesla's full self-driving, GM's Super Cruise, or similar systems, must now be formally declared and registered with provincial transport authorities. This new rule isn't just bureaucratic red tape. It's part of a national effort to track how Canadians are using automation on the road and to hold drivers accountable when things go wrong. Just because your car can steer, brake, or change lanes on its own doesn't mean you're off the hook. In fact, under the new regulations, drivers are required to keep their hands on the wheel and eyes on the road at all times, even when autonomous features are active. Failure to do so could lead to fines, license suspensions, and in the event of an accident, full legal liability, regardless of whether the car was in self-driving mode. Why is this important? Because Transport Canada is now collecting data on how often these systems are involved in near misses, crashes, or traffic violations. The goal is to prepare for the future, but that future comes with real responsibility. So what should you do? If your vehicle includes autonomous features, make sure you register the tech with your insurance provider and understand the limits of what it can and can't do. Never treat these systems like a set-it-and-forget-it tool. They're driver assist, not driver replace. In 2026, technology might be smarter, but the law still holds you accountable. Stay alert, stay in control, and remember, autopilot doesn't mean immunity. So there you have it. 10 powerful new driving laws now in effect across Canada as of January 2026, from dashcam mandates to zero-tolerance cannabis rules, digital insurance, road rage penalties, and even autonomous vehicle regulations. The landscape of driving in Canada is being transformed, and it's happening fast. What do all these changes have in common? They're designed to make our roads safer, smarter, and more accountable. But here's the catch. Most drivers aren't ready, and in this new era, ignorance isn't just risky, it's expensive, and in some cases, even criminal. Ask yourself, how many of these new rules were you already aware of? And more importantly, are you fully prepared to follow them? Because in 2026, being uninformed could cost you your license, your freedom, or even a life. But don't worry, you've already taken the first step just by watching this video. Now it's time to stay alert, stay informed, and help others do the same. Share this video with friends, family, and anyone you know who drives because they need to hear this too.